Well, with special voting well underway in the rest of the country and the rest of the country gearing up to vote tomorrow, let's check in with the Independent Electoral Commission. Joining us is Chief Electoral Officer Mamabolo this morning. Mr. Mamabolo, many thanks for your time this morning, and you've indicated that you've only had about 4 hours of sleep because you are running the local government elections. We saw day one of the special votes happening yesterday, and perhaps just brief us on the efficiency of that process yesterday.
We are very pleased with the manner in which the process went yesterday. It's given us a good run for today. We think will give the country a much more improved performance today than was the case yesterday. But everybody who came to the station to cast their ballots, who had applied, were assisted, and many of those that had applied to be visited at home were visited. We are continuing today, and will cover hopefully a substantial majority of the 1.1 million people who had applied for special votes. So overall, very satisfied with how day one went.
Right. I mean, there was a spanner in the works that was thrown in some parts of the country where we saw some service delivery protests disrupting the voting process, leading to some of the centres having to shut down. Looking forward to today and tomorrow, are there any measures that the Commission will be putting in place to ensure that all South Africans who are voting can do so safely?
Yes, indeed. We have contingency plans for those types of situations. They'll be activated for today, and we should have a much smooth process today. And our appeal to those communities is let the people vote, allow people to register their political choices through the ballot. And if you have any grievances, deal with the grievances through the appropriate channel. If it's a party political dispute internal to the party, deal with it within the party structures. And if it's a service delivery issue, the municipality itself is the appropriate structure. Don't disrupt the electoral process. It's anti-democratic behavior to do so.
Right. I mean, there were other concerns that were raised during the course of the week, and obviously during the weekend, about voting for those with disabilities and particularly those who are blind. How has the IEC been dealing with this? There was a concern that some of the employees of the IEC who are running these elections aren't familiar with the special ballot papers that are needed for blind people, for example. So what has the Commission done to make sure that they too are afforded an opportunity to cast their ballots?
We have provided, together with Blind SA, a ballot template which has a braille writing on it. So you can use that ballot template to mark your mark and cast your ballot. We have also partnered with the disability sector for purposes of voter education, because it's not just about availing the facility. It's also ensuring that the people within the disability sector get to understand how to use that braille ballot and so on. So the sector itself was providing voter education to those that it knows to be part of the sector.
Right, and just a final thought from you, Mr. Mamabolo, just to remind us, tomorrow we cast our votes. We've got until about 9 p.m. to do so. Then the counting process comes into play. How long does that counting process take, and when can we start to see results filter through?
Well, immediately we close at 9 tomorrow. Counting will commence in front of party agents and observers present. And a result slip will be completed per voting station in the presence of party agents. It is our expectation that party agents will countersign the result, indicating the correctness of the count attributed to their party. We'll capture those results. They'll then get audited. They'll be scanned into the system over and above the capture. And if all is well, then those results will start beaming here at the National Results Center. We do hope that by Tuesday, early evening Tuesday, we should have a clear sense of the outcome of these elections.
And I'm sure everyone will be watching very closely to see which parties are taking up some of the major metros in this year's local government elections. That is Mamabolo giving us a sense of the readiness or the state of readiness of the IEC ahead of tomorrow's voting day. And of course, it's encouraged that every single registered South African go out and cast your vote. And remember, you can do that with your temporary ID as well.